Welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to share with you something cool I learned about recently. Air Manager Sim Innovations has come up with a G5 instrument that can be added to virtually any of the panels that use standard data refs, either in prepared, uh, X-Plane, or standard FSX, and also upcoming FS 2020. Any panels you build with Air Manager, you can add this in. And as I said, at $20, I think it's not a bad deal. Pretty cool, and I've enjoyed testing it out and wanted to show you a little bit about how to get it and how to install it and just show it in action a bit. So you can purchase the instrument from the Sim Innovations website. You get the PFD version of the G5, also the HSI version, just as the real instrument. It can be changed back and forth, and you can put as many as you want in many instances as you want. The frame, the bezel frame, and the instrument are separate in case you wanted to build a hardware instrument, and there is support for that for hardware encoders and buttons. If you wanted to build a hardware version, you could build a frame and put a little 3.5-inch screen in there. So you can go to the website and just click and add it to your cart. And for 20 euros, the next time you launch Air Manager, you can download it and it will be activated and ready to use. They have a panel there you need to download, as I'll show you in just a second. So here in Air Manager, you can click Add Panel and scroll down until you find the G5. If you've it'll be there, and then you can click that and Add Panel, and then you go to down to the panels. It shows you the different configurations. I'll use the one that has 2 instances, and you can see at the top here we have the G5. Notice the frame and the screen are separate, so you can use those separately. Don't be confused by the preview image. They both show the PFD, but you can set either one to be either 1 position or 2nd position, and also to be a PFD initially or an HSI initially. And that's just like the real G5. So here you see the top coordinate of the first bezel is at 0, so we know that's the top one. We'll set that one for 1. The next one you can see is the lower one down, so we'll switch that, make sure that's number 2. And now onto the screens, and we want to set those up. You can set them up quite a lot of preferences that you can set up, including speeds, V-speeds, and so on. But the main thing you want to do is tell it what initially you want it to be, whether it's HSI or PFD, and set the position number so that it agrees with the bezel, because the bezel is sending signals to the computer, and then it needs to know what data to display on the screen. So after setting all the user properties, the V-speeds and so on, you can open the panel. Oops, I needed to change the screen I had it on. I needed monitor 2, because that's what I'm recording on here. And we'll open it up. And we'll see the 2 instruments stacked. And it goes through the startup sequence and an aligning mode, and then it'll be ready to go. Now the way this works, there's really only one knob that has a push button. You push that to select it, and then you make inputs in select menus with the knob. So really a button and a knob is all you need. There's an on-off switch too. Here again, the HSI gives you limited choices to set heading. You click it, and then once the heading thing comes up, you can change the heading, and then to set it, to get rid of that, you just click it again. So you're just pushing that button with your finger and twisting the knob, and that's how you make all the inputs to the simulator, or to the G5 in the real life too. So let's try touch here and show how that works. On a touch screen, just a touch to the button, and then touch to the ring on the outside, and then you can move with your finger. You can rotate left and right around just as though you're turning a dial. And it works fairly well, but it does require a little bit of attention. But still, it's far superior to the using a mouse and a keyboard for realism. And you can make the inputs fairly easily. So I may be biased, but an improvement over the touch is using the knobster. If you touch the knob, it turns yellow. and then the push button and the rotating knob function is there. Of course, you can select any knob on the panel, and of course the knob on the HSI also. But by touching the knob, you can then use the knob to make the selections and do all the stuff that you did with touchscreen or your mouse. So I think the Garmin G5 from Sim Innovations is going to be a welcome addition to my twin monitor touchscreen cockpit. It's very realistic in most of the functions that it has. I'd say it has about 90 to 95% of the functions that everyone's going to use. Some of the finer things, for example, the way you set the user parameters, for example, the color arcs on the airspeed indicator and so on the PFD, those are done with user properties in Air Manager instead of on screen like the actual unit would be done and programmed by maintenance. But other than that, it's from a user standpoint, it's a great training aid, and it's also going to be it's inexpensive. So for the price, you can put this thing into to a cockpit as you see here. And if you want to build your own hardware, a bezel would be fairly easy to build, and the screens of that size are available. So that's something to think about also. Again, the Knobster is really the icing on the cake. It really makes it nice to have that knob because then it operates exactly like the real thing. And of course, the knobs, you've heard my praise of the Knobster for use with the GPSs because they have the twin twist knobs. Now, the G5 only has a single knob and a button, but still you can use either twist knob and get the same exact same function. So after a little run up here, we'll take the runway and get out of Aspen here. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoy my videos, I wish you'd subscribe. Be sure to share this with other fellow simmers, and also you can like my video comments. The more comments I get, the more likely I am to be promoted by YouTube and get more viewers. As I said, I'm doing this for fun, but I do appreciate having people uh, give me feedback on what I'm doing, and I do really appreciate you spending your valuable time watching my videos. Have a great day, and hope to see you on my next video. So long.